Welcome to another very wonderful day. This time out with Edu David. This is a production of BHF Foundation. And BHF is actually a Christian youth organization. We try to address various issues that are plaguing the youth worldwide, not just nationwide. Because in BHF, we believe so much that the future of the world is dependent on the youth of today. So whatever we are able to make out of our youth is what we expect to have in the future. As it is today, the world is in real crisis. There are a lot of issues here and there. Politics is gradually failing. Religion has failed woefully. Whether it is the Christian religion, whether it is the Islamic religion. They all failed. It's all about generating one level of crisis or the other. They've not been able to live up to expectation as a role model to the youth. And so we try as much as possible to see how we can be able to give value to these youths so that we can be able to have a better tomorrow. Because it is right now, our tomorrow is endangered. Our tomorrow is in risk because we have not been able to adequately prepare the youth to face the challenges of tomorrow. And just like I said, be it religion, be it politics, governance, we set a bad example. In politics, what we keep having is looters, those who just keep looting their treasury, their nation, and making life very difficult for the citizens. They don't care. They don't really care about the people. It's not about the people. Even those that tells you that they are fighting corruption here and there, it's almost becoming a joke. You see people that have stole billions and billions are just walking out and even getting new appointments here and there. So you know that the whole thing is a messed up. It's completely messed up. In terms of religion, you keep seeing preaching of religious intolerance by people who are supposed to be custodian of this religion. So you see that people don't really understand anymore. Like I said, we can't really say there's anything reasonable to be learned by these religious leaders. And so today we want just to talk a little bit about setting up a new agenda for 2026. And subsequently, we'll be discussing how to go about it. Setting up new agenda. Many years ago, we keep having resolutions, because we're alcoholics, we're drunkards, we're drug addicts and the rest. So we try as much as possible to set up agenda for ourselves, saying that coming year, we're not going to drink anymore, we won't take drugs anymore, we won't get involved in any form of social vices anymore. We'll try and live a responsible life. I remember some time ago, one particular situation, some of my friends now, some of them are not alive, some of them are dead. But there was a resolution some of us made then that we won't drink again. No more smoking, no more taking of alcohol, no more this, no more that. Those resolutions were taken probably beginning from the year 31st of December. That's when we took those resolutions. I would say by the end of that first week of January, we are not going to drink or smoke. Then in Saplet, where my late grandmother was staying then, but I remember one particular situation on a regular basis anyway. Once it is 31st those days, once it's 31st, once it's 12, getting close to 12 midnight, 31st, Olympia, it's AT&P, Africa Timber and Plywood. They used to have their company, and they shoot, what do you call it now? Fireworks from the ocean, from the sea, from the river there, or from their ship. and there will be huge noise. There's huge noise. Once you hear those noise, this is 12 midnight. This is the brand new year, happy new year, vibrations and the rest will be taken up. Voice and sound will be heard, ushering the new year. And most of us then will just run to a nearby Catholic church. We put our head inside the Catholic church at Ogodo Road those days, saying that the new year must meet us in the church. And we are not going to, we're making a resolution that we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that, we're not going to do that. But the sad part of it is that once it is up to 4th or 5th, as a 4th or 5th, once it's up to 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, we'll go back to massive smoking, massive drinking, because we could not sustain the resolutions which we made to live a decent life in the coming year. So we've done that a number of times and times again. But I wanted also to say in this program that we as a young boy, a young girl, this is 30th, tomorrow 31st, you have to take an appraisal of the life you've lived in 2025, the things you've done, the things you did in 2025, and see the area you got it right and the area you didn't get it right, and see how to make amends. So at the end of the year, when we are talking about 2027, your life will not be in the same position as it is 2026, 25, 26. Because science is very clear that every object will continue to remain in the stationary position, in that position, except an applied force or a force applied to change its position, to maintain the same position. There must be a force applied to be able to change the position if you want to have a change of life in 2027. And if you want to have a change of life in 2026 that we're about entering, there are things that you must do. The first, you must begin to adjust the way you think. Is it because you will always become a casualty of your thoughts? You will always become a casualty of your thoughts because your life will follow the direction of your thinking. Your life itself will follow the direction of your thinking. So the first thing you need to do as we're approaching the year is not just to make a resolution, is to tell yourself you must think in this particular direction. So the first step you need to take is adjust your thoughts. What do you think about? You must begin to consider, you must begin to think about what you think about. Because your life will follow the direction of your most predominant thoughts. So the first thing you need to do as we approach 2026 is change your way of thinking. Change your way of thinking. It's so important. You can pray and fast and pray and fast and pray and fast. Very soon, the churches will begin to declare 100 days fasting, 200 days fasting, this one, so days fasting. It's okay. But if you continue to think the way you are thinking, the fasting is useless. Your fasting is of no importance if you continue to think the way you are thinking. Your fasting, the prayer and fasting is useless if you refuse to change your thoughts. It's so important that you change the way you think. If you want to change anything in 2026, you must change the way you think so you can be able to achieve what you want to achieve. So like I said, the first thing you need to do, you need to change the way you think. The second thing you need to do, you need to change your friends. If you change the way you think and you still have the same friends you were hanging around with in 2026, 25, that does not make you to achieve what you want to achieve, you are bound to repeat the same mistakes. These are silent things, but they are very powerful. You must learn to make friendship upward, not downward. The first thing I said is that you must change the way you think. And secondly, you must change your friends. You must change your friends as we begin to approach 2026. Your friends, what kind of friends do you have? What kind of friends do you keep? What are your friends talking about? What are your friends doing? What is the vision of your friends? You must learn to select your friends. You must have friends who have vision, who have plans, who have bigger plans. Because you will become, you check 5 of your friends, check their lives. You'll be the 6th one, your life will not be different from 5 of your friends, 5 of your close friends. 5 of your close friends for the past 1 year. Your life will not be different from 5 of your close friends. So if you continue with those friends in 2026, your life will remain the same. I'm talking about things that will begin to affect your life. It's not just the prayer and fasting. What step are you taking? Remember, I said the first thing you need to do, you need to begin to change the way you think. You need to change your friends. You must keep up with the right friends. The right friends. Because things will not work right for you if you keep having the wrong friends. Things cannot be right. So what kind of friends are you keeping? What kind of friends did you keep in 2025? What impacts did your friends have? Like I said, I used to be a drunkard. I took drugs, move around, prostitutes and the rest, go to club from one level of club to another. Those were what my friends were doing. And I know that for me to be able to live a more decent life, purposeful life, I have to walk away from my friends. Some of them have not seen me for years. There's one of my friends that I saw about a month ago when I traveled to Delta. I met him. We've not seen for the past 20-something years. Because until you adjust the kind of friends you have, your life will not be adjusted. Because your life is a product of the kind of friends that you keep. Even the Bible is very clear when it says evil communication corrupt good manners. It's not about killing anybody, fall, die, fall. That's not what we are talking about. If you want to make meaningful progress in life, what kind of friends do you keep? What are your friends? What are your friends talking about? What do they talk? What do they think? Are they people of vision? Do they have plans? In 2026, you must learn to make friends with the right people. Because whatever you become in life is a product of help from God, help from God and help from friends. It's your friends that will help you to achieve your purpose. So the question you ask yourself now, which kind of friends do you have? Mario Puzo said in his book, I don't know if anyone have read it, The Godfather. He said, friends are more important than the government. Friends are more powerful than the government. The reason why you are where you are today right now is because of the kind of friends that you have. If you have the right kind of friends, you will have gone far by now. I'm not talking about the useless friends who just to drink, go to club. And I used to have friends like that. We normally go to Bobbish 7 o'clock in the evening. We drink and smoke till around 2, 3 in the early hours of the morning. We are so lucky, I bless God, that we didn't go fall in Third Mainland Bridge. Because that was what we were doing every day. Papish, smoke, drink, pepper soup, smoke, girls. It's a waste of time. You will never be able to achieve anything to fulfill your vision, your mandate on earth, if you keep hanging around with the wrong kind of people and you keep thinking the wrong kind of thoughts. It's so important. So It's like I said, very soon you have the marathon prayer, marathon fasting, which is okay. But as long as you keep having the wrong friends, you keep thinking the wrong thoughts, nothing will change in 2026. It's going to be the same thing. If you keep the same kind of friends you have in 2025, if you keep the same friends in 2026, friends that are not productive, friends that don't have vision, that don't have plan, you won't achieve much. You must follow people who have genuine plans for what they want to achieve. Because nothing is actually impossible. Never. The Bible says nothing is impossible with them that believe. Nothing is impossible. But for you to be able to make progress, you must be able to have the right kind of friends. And number 3, what plans? Write down your plans for 2026. Write down your plans. Give it time. The first quarter of 2026, this is what I want to achieve. The second quarter, this is what I want to achieve. The third quarter, this is what I want to achieve. The fourth quarter is what I want to achieve. And give it the times. So at the end of the day, you will know from the beginning of the year if you are making progress or you are failing. You don't need to wait until November before you begin to talk about God of the last minute, God of the last hour. You don't need to. What do you need to do for? You'll be able to know by February, by March. You'll be able to know if you are making progress at all. Progress is not lack of motion. The fact that you are busy does not mean you are making progress. You can be busy and you are not moving. You will just be turning around like Baba Chair. No Baba Chair, always turning around, but not moving. Baba Chair is in the same position. Baba Chair is not making any progress, even though there is motion. So you should be able to write down. Habakkuk says, write down the vision. Write it down. What do you want to achieve in 2026? The first quarter, this is what I want to achieve. Write it down. So if by March you check yourself, you've not been able to achieve that dream, you know that you're already failing from the beginning. You don't need to wait in November. And whatever you need to do, you begin to adjust it now before you even get to June. So for today, we'll go around again. The 3 most important things that you need to get settled before you enter 2026. The first thing you go to say, if you look at it and you say, look, you don't like the way your life is going, then you have to change your friends. Change your friends. And change the way you think. Change your friends, change your thoughts, and write down your plans. If you want to make progress in 2023, 2026, begin to focus on these 3 extremely most important things. Change your friends, change your thoughts, write down your plans. You must write it down. You must write down the vision. Write down the vision. So it's not just talking about resolution alone, because I've made that before. Don't waste your time. We've made resolutions again and again and again, and we're even worse. After resolutions, we couldn't meet up. The 3rd day, we'll break every resolution that we've made. Were we sincere? We're extremely sincere with those resolutions. We don't want to drink, we don't want to smoke, we don't want to do this one. We meant it because it was becoming a burden. But the fact that you mean it does not mean it's obtainable. It's only obtainable when you do the first thing, change the way you think, change the friends you keep, and write down the vision. Once you're able to keep these 3 things at the beginning of the year, by the time you get to November, you'll find out that your dreams are already met for the year. This is a youth program, so we are talking to the youth on a regular basis. Because that's the only way you can make progress in the world we are living now. So you don't waste your time as we did, trying to make resolutions that ended up 0. So please, I want you to write it down in your mind as we meet again tomorrow at the same time to continue this series. Tomorrow is wash night. As we meet again, don't forget the 3 things we discussed about today. Change your mind. Change the way you think. Change your friends. Very, very important. And write down your plans for 2026. What plans do you have for 2026? We are on our way to 2026. Any moment from now, very soon we'll enter 2026. What is your plan for 2026? Have you written it down? What you want to achieve in 2026? Have you written it down? So write down your plan for 2026. Change the way you think in 2026. Change the friends that you keep in 2026. As long as you are able to do these 3 things, I want to assure you in 2026 you will get to your destination. Until we meet again tomorrow, please let me repeat the 3 things again I said, which are very, very important. Change the way you think, change the friends you keep, and write down the vision. And in 2023, you will get there. For those of you who are stranded, confused, I pray that God will help you to get there. In the mighty name of Jesus, you will achieve your dreams for 2023. And God will separate you from bad friends in 2023. And by the grace of God, you will think positive thoughts in 2026, rather. I can say 2026. The help of God will make you to keep positive thoughts. Positive, productive thoughts. Keep productive friends. And have productive vision. Until we meet again tomorrow, please take good care of yourself. This time out with David. We will continue counsel tomorrow. But tomorrow I will tell you specifically what the Lord told me. And he said in the spirit realm, they don't bother about whether the child is a male or a female. They bother much about the purpose and the destiny of the child. So we'll meet again tomorrow so our parents will be able to know what to begin to pray about their children from inception. They don't need to wait on the last minute and begin to look for who to kill. They will know how to pray. Because it is easy to uproot a seed than it is to uproot a tree. Before the issue becomes a tree in your children's life, you can uproot it now that it's a seed. Take good care of yourself as we meet again tomorrow.